there?
Doesn't look like there's much choice.
To the heart of the vein.
I'm with you, brother. I need to get past that vent. I'll stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross.
Understood.
I can't see a way to close the vent from here. I'll have to go over it.
In the air!
Now to shut off that vent. Like I need to get across to extend the bridge.
Once again, you wait for...
Okay, let's get them across. Come on over, it's safe. I think.
This place looks more like the mountain used to be, where the daemon ruined it.
Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Trace routes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build positive recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to this model.
The spirit speaks to us.
It's a recording.
Exploit successful.
Hephaestus. It was part of Zero Dawn, part of Gaia.
This name is familiar to you.
Yes. I don't know what it's doing here.
Perhaps the spirit will tell us, if it left more messages.
Maybe you're right. Let's keep moving. Try to find a way through. I think I'm in the clear. need to get Araya and Aratak across. That should do it.
And now it's my turn.
The general console.
To any human responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the daemon. And it may have found one.
November 28th. Operation Enduring Victory is all over the news. The Pharaoh swarm is coming. Has to be what Anita is trying to hide Firebreak from. But that means she thinks we'll lose. That the swarm will reach Yellowstone. My God. In that scenario, pretty much everyone dies. Everyone except Cyan.
Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to get across that gap.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over. Ready or not. go sideways, too. Stable. Alright, time to grab a ride. Easier time getting here. The altar. Desecrated.
There's a spirit present.
But we have to find out.
Possible security event detected. Analyzing scrutiny matrix. Security event confirmed.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the blue light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to raid the signal strength. One has been exposed, but I am in
Unauthorized protocol returned. Scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it. Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for? That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. We can't let it stop us.
Take it down! spoke of the tower. What must be done with it? Whatever you're going to do to that tower, do it now.
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative. Routing our network.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
Rhea is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the shaman's path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Maria said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers and look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. I have no due to my...
You're asking...
Broadly.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. So...
As the Banuk believe I am a
Just... the truth will come out.
I see. Will you return and tell I may be able...
I'd like that, Cyan. I should check on Aratak.
Cyan, I
See how he's
spoke
doing.
with Anita, with Dr.
Hello, Aloy. Do you...
Hello, Cyan. So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes. It was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Araya's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
There's a ruin east of here full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor? But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
All right, Cyan. I'm going to leave you for now.
I will quite literally always be available, Aloy.
My chieftain.
Just Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
She was willing to fight. She wouldn't let anything stop her.
She was Banuk until the end. I was wrong. The Karja never broke her, only made her stronger.
So it wasn't your failure. It was her decision.
They always said I had an unshakable will. But Araya's was the mountain I could only aspire to. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was. And why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail. Fireclaw. Safe. For a few minutes, anyway. can't carry more. Just like in the cauldron. I'd have to ditch something. These will keep. It's Aratak. Two fire claws. This is gonna be tough.
I can help with those.
We have to stop meeting like this.
We will. When these are driven from our land.
One of the fire claws from Thunderstruck. fire problem. Closer. Thanks. 2 of us, 2 of them. More of a fair fight.
Their numbers are much depleted, thanks to you. We shall end this threat and keep Cyan safe. She speaks of strange things, but slowly. She is a good teacher, and we are his pupils.
Take care of each other, Hartok.
Farewell.
Oh boy. Be fascinating if they weren't looking for me. to see here. Get loud. Stocking up.
Aloy, got a proposition for you.
What can I do for you, Bergrand?
Mourn my poor departed luck. I finally met some Banuk keen to trade with Outlanders. Then, they up and vanished. 3 Banuk hunters rolled in a few days ago. No provisions, junk equipment, no idea how to strip a machine for parts. Asked me to outfit them for a long trip. And you know me, Aloy. I'm sentimental. So I did it on credit.
And they haven't paid.
Well, they tried. Just look what they did to this Thunderjaw.
Tell me, Bergrand.
A man
Uh-huh.
Just what I said after they dropped this.
But you haven't seen... What do you mean?
Not uncommon. No shot.
So if the... You said they...
Not sure.
So they're leaving.
Sensible be.
I'm not a
Of course. But a Scorcher Claw. If they bring me those parts, that...
I'll...
Last I saw them, they were... If you decide that...
Inatut. As we are bound by laws, you are bound by wire. Yet your crime was the act of killing. So we must drive you out. Away from the Werak, from protection, from our songs.
My chieftain, Kopalai, am I not your favorite fighter? Do you not recognize me from this tooth you knocked out?
How many times have I pulled you from danger by your neck? Made excuses for your behavior? You are my favored! But the shaman is decided. While you wait for exile, think on what brought you here.
A test of strength! Who among us refused a challenge from an outlander? Not I! But I did not kill him!
Hush, hush. You can tell your story to the ice.
You took Artok's mantle.
It's mine now.
I would have liked to see that fight.
They said that you killed someone.
Perhaps I did. If even my chieftain accepts it, it must be so.
That's not the way it works for me. Want to tell me your story?
I did fight with the Karja hunter to settle a challenge. That much is true. He was strong and damn quick. We traded punches. Good punches. Hard punches. And the next thing I remember... Gray morning light, and the Karja beside me, with his head broken open. But the blow was not by my hand.
Isn't your Werak supposed to...
When our Werak had... Or, now and out.
They don't want an instant.
That is what I do best.
So everyone knows you started the fight with this man?
Of course. For honor, I'll fight anyone. If
I don't think... that would help you.
This is what until I took one...
And for your punishment...
From more...
That's awful.
If I survive...
Still...
I'm not...
I'll be on. Where did the fight happen?
They say no one else... The shot...
I'll see what I can...
I'll be...
Huntress, what business do you have with us?
I was asked to look into the murder of a Karja hunter. What happened?
It's plain as day. A drunk Banuk thug picked a fight with Ruas, struck him down from behind and stole his headdress.
The accused man says that he didn't do it.
You're not going to get anything useful out of the Banuk, whether they talk to you or don't. They gather up like cloaks in a chill wind every time a hunter dies out here. Won't even hand Ruas's killer over for a proper trial.
A proper trial?
To fill his mouth with salt, and hold him up for the sun to consider over days. If it is clement, it may only take his sight.
So other Karja hunt...
3, maybe. That's no surprise. This place punishes, but usually the snow...
Do you think they're...
No.
In these outlands...
Doesn't sound...
They're not without... snow and...
It takes...
You...
Where did you...
There's no...
Humor me?
Down the rise, and if that barbarian...
This is it. Snow's been disturbed a lot, like the Huntress said. Blood on the snow. That was used for the killing blow. Now here's something. Lots of leaves and bark scraped off here. When someone pulled out the branch? No. From climbing it. They came through the trees. Didn't try to hide the weapon. Question is Inatet the kind of fighter who hits from behind with a tree branch? Hardy little plant. You'll help. you were waiting here, you'd have a good view of the Karja camp and the clearing.
Inevitable.
Well, this is ominous. A dead end? Can't be. Someone covered this over. What are they trying to hide? Karja armor. This looks bad.
It doesn't matter. The deed is done. Another Karja is dead. And bring up the death out for it. A life for a Karja life. That's war.
Shouldn't kill so quickly. Someone's here!
Not Banuk. Then she won't be missed.
On me!
Gonna destroy you! Gonna get you!
doesn't matter. The deed is done. Another Karja dead. And a Banuk is exiled for it. A life for a Karja life.
Over here! It's her!
Got you a prick!
It doesn't matter. The deed is done. Another Karja dead. And a Banuk is exiled for it. A life for a Karja life.
Oh yeah. Fighting time!
It doesn't matter. The deed is done. Another Karja dead. And a Banuk is exiled for it. A life for a Karja life. That's war.
I feel a fight coming on!
This one'll hurt.
Helpful. You've been killing Karja. And for what? Revenge for the war?
Who gets to declare that one tribe no longer hates another? I'll tell you, not the ones who fought, not the ones whose songs are silenced, like my kin.
For what you did, another Banuk has been sentenced to certain death. What about his song?
Oh, that's why you followed us? For that punch-drunk idiot Inatut. Fate is sharp today. They've already let him out to face his exile. Let's see who the cold claims first.
I need to go after Inatut. But I should find some more evidence first. Trophies. Newer than the rest. Must have belonged to Ruas, so it was a Karja soldier's. Not that it's any excuse. Did they keep any clothes from their... This Carjagir's not warm, but if Inatut's naked on a snowfield, he'll take what he gets. Okay, time to get moving. Keep that for later. I'll tuck that away. Kind of place you'd take someone if you wanted to lose them forever. I'm not getting up that frozen waterfall. Maybe along the sides. Healing supplies. Lucky. Halfway there. Frozen solid. Mixed feelings about that. In a tut! In a tut! Maybe he found shelter? I hope he found shelter. Behind the rock.
The Nora girl? Is it really you, or has the bone chill got through my skull?
I found the real killers. No one else has to die because of this. Take these.
A dead Tarsus close. Haven't I been beaten down enough? But I won't argue. I swear, thought I saw my ancestors. They said, we're surprised you ended up here.
You better hurry. Machines.
Now this, Not a fair fight. Any other machines want to try me?
No room.
Now that was a fight.
Your trial's over. It was other Banuk who killed that man. Killed him because he was Karja.
You know why I took the first swing at him? He challenged...
Come on.
Once I'm off the mountain, it's not something I'm used to. Who knows what could...
I'll see you at town.
I give my...
So by Banuk law, if Initek survives, he's forgiven. But I want to prove to his chieftain that he wasn't guilty in the first place.
Fortunate that Aurea favored Sekuli. I've never seen another painter like her.
Initet told you the truth. This is the headdress stolen from the murdered man. You'll find more in a ravine north and west of here, along with the bodies of the killers.
The exile still served its purpose. He was guilty of our suspicion. Fate has fallen like snow, and should Inatut return, he will be absolved.
You can't be serious.
He speaks for the Werek, my Nora friend.
You look ridiculous. If you would return to my Wirrak, you will behave as a Banuk does.
How does a Banuk behave, my chieftain? Like I did? Accepting a sentence for a crime he did not commit. Or those others who killed in cold blood for crimes that their Karja victims did not. I think what I wear will not make me more or less of a Banuk.
For his own sake, it would be wise for him to think less. Nora, friend.
I'll talk to him. But not for you.
You Karja offer peace to the living. None will forget your great.
I defied my chief.
How are you feeling?
As if I could...
You don't owe them anything. The Werrak doesn't decide who you are. If your exile's proved anything, it should be that. There's so much more out there, beyond your borders and laws. It won't be easy. But I know you can roll with the hits.
But without a Werek? To be a Banuk alone would...
How about yours?
Huh. And so many As for you, Nora...
I'm honored. Something tells me those are Bergren's missing hunters. I don't suppose you three know an Oseram and Song's edge called Bergren, do you?
Boys! That con artist sent an errand girl to collect what's owed to him.
I'm nobody's errand girl. Bergren asked me to help harvest parts.
Broken junk.
This pack will be on the move soon. No time.
Fine. We're about to take...
Nobody. That's who.
All right, Outlander. You want to talk about our deal with Bergren?
That's done. You three are pretty handy in a fight.
Thanks, I guess. Not that we needed your help. We are doing just fine without you.
That's not the way Bergren tells it. He says you tried to settle up with him using a shattered Thunderjaw heart.
What? That's an exaggeration. It was only broken in two.
Urkai, we don't have time for this. Come on, boys, back to the hunt. We still need 2 more of Bergren's components.
What's the rush?
We want out of these lands as soon as possible. That's all you need to know.
Why are you leaving the cut?
Well, we could go back to Banor. Let Anacut slit our throats.
By the blue light, Urkai. Why don't you just write our story in the snow for any passing hunter to read?
It seemed like a good time to move.
From here to the...
Seems worth it.
Yeah, and in this...
What's the plan once you get...
Look, all that matters is that we...
So this Thunderjaw...
Let me ask you this, all right?
Of course you can't just stick it back together.
I just meant...
Oh, I bet that scam artist Arsarim could. He just wants to send us on another stupid errand.
Oh, he's not so bad. I like Bergren.
Like him? Tool him out. He sent us out in the snow to nearly die under the feet of a Thunderjaw, and...
Boys, shut up! Ugh!
I've got the Scorcher Claw Bergren was asking for.
You should hold on to it.
I suppose somebody...
Fine. The bloody snowdrift.
Bloody?
Yeah, it's...
You. We're headed north...
Saving these for the trail. Forget about traveling light. Come on. ready. Should have brought a cart. I guess I can't blame you for that. No space. There's the herd. Nope.
It is. Forget it. I don't know about you three, but I feel better. Aloy, did you get that component?
I can't feel much of anything in this. That's another part down.
Starting to feel... Honestly,
Who's...
Coney... She didn't...
No. Is this why you left Ben?
Onika knew. That final night, we snuck back to...
Like cowards.
What are we to Ty?
It's not what she did.
Coney challenged...
Onika wrapped himself in... You were willing to fawn over him. The Werak split into two.
Until Nicole.
She was the best and brave.
What happened?
She challenged the chieftain to a hunting comp. But who comes back to the camp after the trial? Oniku. We tracked Nukoni through the woods. Their damn necks.
I don't want to remember her like that. I'm sorry to Ty.
It's nice. Look, that's where the burning turkeys are gonna make a...
Oh, the burning...
It rolls up.
Sort of like vomit.
So...
There's a lake just... If you beat us...
Might need that. No sign of him yet. Guess I'll just sit and wait. I was starting to worry about you.
We took our time.
I can imagine.
Huntress?
I'm almost impressed, Dulamok. Didn't think you could come up with a name worse than burning turkeys.
Well, I liked it.
Jaws on that thing. It could snap a sawtooth right in half. have to leave something else behind. Can't be too prepared.
Come here, Aloy. Let's have a proper goodbye, huh?
There. That's the last of Berg
for now. Until Orkai breaks something up.
It was what? You make a nice shaman, Aloy. Thanks for lending it.
Once you get to the...
We hunt like
Nikoni had big dreams. Shaman...
Sounds like a lot.
But...
You won't... When you... Sure.
Thank...
The only...
That although it's a little... How about you?
You do...
I like that.
The Conies... I know I'm not...
Yeah.
None of the southern tribes rival the Banuk as hunters, but some are skilled in their own way.
Bergrand.
Quite handsome. You know those three crazy... Now that I have those parts.
So they've gone south?
Aye, that they have. Old tourism machine.
Or at least from...
Well, we were...
from mistaking each other for prey.
I heard. No apology. Each time, which will have to...
The fire clock.
It's a dire tap.
I'd like to...
Every call... The song, at least...
You don't...
Oh,
You are...
Do you?
I wouldn't have...
I suppose...
I've already...
That's it. The cut is just...
I'm glad...
As are we...
Before every hunt, I accept that it could be my last. During every hunt, I fight to make sure it isn't.
Rost? 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 Where is he? 2 days before the proving and he goes off without me? He wouldn't do that. He said we'd go hunting this morning. Why isn't he here? Where's he gone to? What's he doing up there? He's just standing there. What's going on with him?
Aloy, you're here.
When you said we were gonna go hunting, I didn't realize you meant I'd have to track you down.
We must speak. I've been thinking about your training, Aloy. You've learned to hunt.